Greetings! You're watching Septum Sin vs. the World. I'm Septum Sin. Today, we're going to get back into the review cycle with Deathpool. Not Deadpool. Deathpool. With a name like Deathpool, you gotta really love this film. I mean, you don't have to love this film, but to me, nothing screams watch me like Deathpool. Alright, I think we've had enough of me saying the name. This particular film, which I'd been showing upside down, is a thriller and more of a serial killer type film. I thought it was sort of like a killer pool, but there are films about killer pools. See, Ghost Shark, I believe, is one that's pretty nasty about killer pools. But as far as the DVD goes, I'm going to start with that. I had found out about this. I'm actually a fan of Cool Duder. He's one of the main inspirations for this particular channel. And I found out that he was in this movie. Another particular YouTuber had tipped me off on this, and I'm going to try and find his information and put that on my description below so you can go visit his channel. The particulars are that he's in this. It's out of print. I needed to get it, so I found it, and I got it before it went too far out of print so that, I couldn't get it. This particular film has kind of lackluster special features. I mean, it's basically saying, this is the aspects for the film. Oh, and we have subtitles for the hearing impaired, which I'll admit most films don't have, or a lot of films don't have, so I am happy to see that. And it has trailers. Now there's a wonderful glowing array of special features for you. So it's just going to have to be the movie. Well, this particular movie, you've got this guy who, in his childhood, was apparently molested by his babysitter in a pool. And something happened. Which, of course, had to do with murder. But this has left him afraid of water. Well, he and his idiot friend, who happens to be a pool cleaner, go off to make money, because he's been kind of living an aimless life at this point. And then he discovers that he has an attachment. He can go in the water again, so long as he's allowed to murder whoever he wants. And so he goes off on a murder spree with the support of his friend, and gains this great fame as an evil serial killer, or famous serial killer, in California. So, what was the good? Well, I was actually very surprised. I did not I did not go into Deathpool with extremely high expectations. I expected to be entertained. That was about all I expected. Usually these types of movies entertain me. They don't strike me as high art. I don't expect great acting. I don't expect super special effects. I expect just basic entertainment. And that's all I need from a lower budget film. Now, this one actually impressed me on the expectations. I thought the story was a lot deeper and better written than I had imagined it would be. The characters were semi-realistic in nature, and I've worked with people who have had these types of issues before, and this could be related to that. So once this movie got started, I felt like it really did well. I felt like this was actually pretty well written. I thought the characters were entertaining and worth a look. And in general, I was on the edge, enjoying this film throughout the majority. Cool Duder's appearance was highly entertaining. It was a slightly different one than I'm used to seeing him do. He didn't die in this one, which is very different from his other roles. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's something you definitely need to see. And you'll recognize him immediately when he comes on. This is after his weight loss, so that might be something also that you'll want to mark on that. Now, as far as effects and acting go, I'd say acting is okay, and they didn't need a lot of flashy effects, so they were able to get along just fine with what they had. They had some good locations, and it was pretty believable. So to me, they played well with their budget, and that was good. And as I said, the acting was not top grade, but at the same time, it was above the B level. It was watchable, and it didn't stick out to me as, oh God, this is terrible. And that makes for something when it comes to this sort of thing. As I said, Deathpool has exceeded its expectations. Now, were there some bad things? Yes. This is not exactly the greatest film ever, but at the same time, there are flaws. Again, I have to say it did shoot past my expectations. The writing, as I said, did pick up quite well once this movie got started, but I felt like there was quite an abruptness of going from I'm this gentle guy who's just afraid of water to I'm a killer. I'm gonna kill everybody. He goes from this I don't want to kill anybody to I'm gonna kill everybody. I don't care. And it just feels like there could have been a slower transition over to that. I know they were trying to move quickly through, but it just, I don't know. I felt like it was a little bit abrupt for me. So that part of it, just that entire first part, to me was just kind of a little bit of a just slower, and then suddenly, boom! It was like going from 0 to 60, in just like a small amount of time. But other than that, I was highly entertained by it. I felt like it was a complete package, and I felt like most everything else did fine. I mean, there were some characters that were annoying, but at the same time, those characters got their just end in the end for the most part. So, again, no problems. Well, I feel like I've rambled enough on the this is actually better than it might seem. But let's actually put a number to it. I'm going to give Deathpool a 7 out of 10. This movie wasn't just enjoyable. It was a movie that I would want to watch again, that I would want to see a couple of times, to get a further examination going, to get a little bit more introspection into the movie. And so I would say, if you see this out in the wild, or if you see it online for a decent price, pick it up. You won't be disappointed. I'm Septum Sin versus the World. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Click like, of course. Subscribe to our channel. And click the little bell thing, and that will let you know when my videos come out. And of course, comment. I love getting comments because I know this community is a pretty wise community when it comes to videos. You wouldn't come in here if you didn't have that appreciation for the physical media. And at the same time, I like to hear from other people who have seen this movie. I want to know what your opinions are on Deathpool. So let me know in the comments. But we will see you on the next one.
Now we're at that part of of our videos where I honor a YouTuber that I subscribe to. For this, it doesn't matter what your viewer count is. You could have 1 million views, you could have 1,000 views, you could have 1 view. If I like your channel, I'm gonna make sure that I talk about your channel. Now we're going for a, what's the word? We're going for a fairness thing, so we're just doing this in alphabetical order. So if you're on my list, and you know you're on my list, you will be coming. It's just a matter of when. I do these reviews, and I plan on moving it up. I might be moving one up sooner than later, but that's because we're partnering with them. So let's talk about a jolly wanker. Yes, that is the name of his channel, A Jolly Wanker. As usual, the link will be in the description below. His videos are highly entertaining. This is a comedic channel, and it's based entirely on game mods. Mods, of course, are those little things that people do. They take a game, they look at the code, and they mod it around to where it looks a little bit strange. Some things are minor, like giving you infinite carry in a game like Skyrim, and some are major, like making the dragons all look like the Macho Man from WrestleMania. So this guy takes and installs tons of different mods on several different games, most of them being Half-Life 2, but there are a few exceptions. There's some Doom ones. He's done Skyrim a number of times. I want to say he's done some Fallout. He did a Fallout one. And in general, you will see like he'll use text at the bottom to describe his just general reactions, and they are hilarious. Lately, he's been doing more verbal reactions, and like many YouTubers, he's finding that it is not profitable to be on this channel and has moved to, well, Twitch. But YouTube is an excellent platform because if you subscribe to him, you'll know when he's live because he posts that on his YouTube channel. You can then go watch him live. I implore you to check this guy out. So that's a message from your pal Septum Sen, and I hope to see you on the next one.